I'm hoping this works. It keeps not working, but I think it's lit. It's lit. Hi, y'all. It's Brandy. And as usual, crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Today, look at this lighting. I moved the candle, and now they're like, ah, it's crazy. All right, candle looks like it's working. I need a tripod. So here's the thing. Today is June 8th, 2020. It's an amazing day for manifestation. And I know I'm supposed to be all about tarot and stuff, but I'm also all about all kinds of other stuff. And because today is all about manifestation, let me tell you why. We're going to get into this for just a second. I'm going to hope this video isn't too long because sometimes I can be too long-winded. But today is June 8th, and the moon has just had a full moon in Sagittarius, and it went through an eclipse, which, P.S., by the way, craziness. Woke up Saturday, energy is shifted. It's amazing. Today is Monday, and the moon has aligned with Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, and it's amazing energy. Today is a fantastic manifestation day. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to put my morganite on. I'm going to put my clear quartz on. Boink. And I'm going to work on if there is anything that I really want to manifest, I'm going to especially work on it today. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell people that today is a great manifestation day, but also let's talk about manifestation a little bit. Like, let's talk about that. Okay. Um, and I feel like I could do a long video on this. I could give you some personal examples of things that I manifested because I'm pretty sure I manifested my husband. Like, we're one of those stories of like, if we're not married at this age, we'll get married again, except we hadn't talked to each other in years. And it's a great story. So one of these days, remind me down below and I'll tell you the story about my husband and I because it's super cute and he's adorable. But also, like, I'm pretty sure that I manifested it without knowing it. And it, because I did it without knowing it, it kind of wrecked my life in a fantastic way. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is manifesting on purpose. Like, you want to purposefully choose what you're manifesting because otherwise it gets willy-nilly and you could kind of mess up your life pretty great. Um, and there's a couple other things that I have worked on manifesting that I really didn't realize were coming true until they did. So, one of the things that is a fantastic manifestation technique, especially if you believe in the law of attraction, the law of release, those kind of things. The candle is going. Yes. It only took 4 tries. Um, is how, like, if you believe in those things, how do you get them to work for you? Well, a way that a lot of people talk about is scripting, and I talk about it a lot because I believe that writing is incredibly powerful. Like, people have talked about how when you're trying to memorize notes for class, and I've had to memorize notes for shows and know what things are, that when you write with your hands, um, it programs into your brain a different way. Well, I believe that it also programs with the universe a totally different way. It takes all the energies of your body. So when you're writing, it actually, like, if you've ever like, I have a disabled child. So I learned that when he's writing, even though I'm watching his hand, the energy is actually coming from here, has to come all the way up here because you have to hold yourself up to write. And then it has to extend out your arm. He's right-handed. I'm ambidextrous, so sometimes I switch. Just go with it. And yes, I'm fully ambidextrous. So he then has to take that energy and extend it all the way out to his arm to get the motion of writing. Then it also has to go into your hands to hold the pen. And then it's even more energy to write the exact lines for your language. Now, I don't know if you ever put that much thought into what writing takes. But if you're taking these thoughts and these ideas and these desires and these passions and all of these things that you're feeling, and then you're taking that much energy without even thinking about it, it's kind of like breathing or blinking, which you are now aware that you are doing. You take all that energy and expel it through yourself. Doesn't that seem like it's so powerful? Right? Right? Whoa, wait, I have all this power within me. Yes, naturally. So if you then are amplifying it, how so? Well, for example, I put morganite on, which I don't recommend for everyone, and clear quartz. Throw some clear quartz, which is an amplifier, on your body. Earrings, rings, hold a crystal in one hand while you write with the other one, those kind of things. Now you're even more supercharged in what you are writing and manifesting. Doesn't this sound just so empowering? Let's throw in that you also use some anointing oils, that you meditate for 5 to 10 minutes before you start. What? And then if you take the time to do it properly, this is my opinion, properly to do a saltwater bath or an herb bath, scrub down, rinse off, get fully clean, dry, comfortable clothes, let go of the world, let go of the social noise, and focus in and do a meditation. Like, how powerful do you think you are? Right? Right? So you can go from doing this in the morning and the evening before you go to sleep, like just because you woke up and you're in that state. You could just write it the one time because you felt like it, or you could do like this incredibly powerful way. There's so many different ways depending on the person how you could do it. So I was like, okay, let's talk about a way to do this and use all that power. And I love that idea. So, um, you've got explosive energy of Pluto. I have notes over here so that I don't scroll off because we all know that I will do that. Explosive energy of Pluto. Then you've got the energy of Jupiter, which is all like opportunities and things like that, right? That kind of energy. And then you've got the stability of Saturn right today. Now, let's say you're doing this in the future and you're like, well, I missed the day. Is it any good? Sure. Astrology changes all the time. There's all kinds of benefits to different things. I'm just saying today, you've got even more power. What? I know. I know. Feels pretty good. So let's say that you have a desire that you want to manifest, a thought. It can be, and it can literally be anything. It can be something physical, more money, a new car, a baby, a family member, a husband. It can be something ethereal, more clarity, more peace of mind, less anxiety, um, feeling stable, being grounded. It could be something very intangible, but like you would know it was happening, like a creative increase, right? Or inspiration increase because you've been feeling stagnant. You can ask for removal of things, although that's not quite exactly the way you want to do that. That's more of a release situation. But if you want to manifest the ability to release easier, that's kind of a better way to go. You always want to keep lack mentality away. So if you are saying, I need more money, I want more money, I desire more money, that's not actually a positive way to speak about yourself or to the universe. What you want to say is, more money is coming my way in the amount of this. I see more money coming my way. I believe source, whatever your source is, whatever, like it could be universe, it can be spirit, it can be the Lord, it can be, you know, anybody. Kunyin, which I'm pretty sure I just said wrong. I have no tripod and my phone is falling. Oh no, this is what I get. Anyway, insert person of power, goddess you're working with, whatever it is. I see them working for my good and bringing me more money. Do you see how it switches from a something I don't have to something that is coming my way? That's what you want. Now, let's talk about a way to do this. So I have in front of me some journals and pens, a whole slew of crystals and oils and little people, little things. Do you need all of these? No. To do this, what you need is a piece of paper, honestly, like just a piece of paper, and a pen. What color? It can matter or it cannot. If you want to choose to use what you have, choose for the color not to matter. If you want an excuse to go to Michael's, then look up color correspondences to things. I also use candles. That's not required either. Now, you want to get all fancy, let's talk about stepping it up and doing what speaks to you. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple different options on how this works. little bit more information, and then we're done for the day because I got other things to do. I have like a billion more readings to do. And I have a family that needs my actual attention. And I also want to have time tonight to really do my own manifestation work because I do have some things that have been deep for me. Okay, so we established that the minimum that you need is a pen and some paper. This is really great if you can just get a brown paper bag paper, but use what you have. Now, let's say that you're really interested in running around your house and grabbing a few things. I'm going to give you the steps to do this, and then I'm going to go through a couple of things. Okay? Okay. This is for scripting. Scripting is a fantastic manifestation tool. It's very powerful for some of the reasons I already mentioned. What you need to do is you take your page, you write down today's date. You can write it in whatever order and whatever fashion you want. If you want a longhand, write June 8th, 2020, go for it. If you want to put the day in, go for it. If you want to do it European style and put the day, month, and then year, it's fine. Spirit doesn't care. You just need to tell them where you are in time because they speak a different way than we do. Okay? Then at the top, I always write something like gratitude, thanks be, I am so blessed. Sometimes I write all of them. Find an affirmation of gratitude that works for you, put it right underneath. Okay? Again, Google is your friend on this. There are so many. If you have a poem that really speaks to you of gratitude, you can copy that in. Something that gets you into this place of unbelievable personal gratitude for how blessed you are. And let me tell you, there have been times where I did not feel very blessed when I was doing this, but you know what? You can always find good things. Always, always. Okay. I'm going to rewind a little bit because there's some other steps that I think are really important that I sort of talked about, but I sort of skipped. Are they necessary? Some people believe so, some people don't. For me, I think they're necessary when I am doing something that I really want to be very powerful. If I just need to do it, to go forth, for example, if I wake up in the morning and I write it, or I'm writing it right before I go to bed, these things may not happen. So rewind. I understand I'm a little jumpy all over the place. I've got Mercury retrograde and Morganite happening. So, and also I had some caffeine. We're going to go with it. If you want this to be a ritual situation, a cleansing bath that releases all the negative, so involving salt and or herbs, is a very good idea. Incense in your room, or going through the room, sage your pen, sage your journal, sage your paper, sage yourself, all the corners of your room. You can also put salt in the corners of your room during, beforehand. It's better if you do it the day before, okay, so that you can leave it. And then the day after, you want to vacuum that salt up or sweep it away. Don't leave it out. Then getting into a quiet space, meditation is always good. Candles of a color correspondence to your manifestation, lighting them right before you start writing and keeping them within your visual space is fantastic, not required. Can you carve into your candles to make the manifestation stronger? Absolutely. Is it required? No. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. What crystals can I use while I'm writing these things that you're talking about? Well, labradorite. Okay, labradorite, which the lighting in here today is going down. The sun is going down, so it's going to be a little bit darker. Okay, labradorite. Amethyst is fantastic for this. Okay, citrine. We love citrine, especially natural citrine. So I have man-made and I have natural. Okay, man-made, natural citrine. Dragonstone, I think, is brilliant for this. Dragonstone amplifies whatever you put it on. I love to clear and charge my Dragonstone for money and put it on top of a $20 bill on my dresser because whenever I do that, Moonstone, if it's a full moon, can be beneficial and helpful, although I believe that it's mostly because it helps you focus. Dalmatian jasper, fantastic for forward thinking, really good for stuff like that. Okay. If you are wanting your angels to get involved, Apophyllite, very powerful. If it is a love manifestation, rose quartz. Okay. Also, a gentle help is selenite. Okay, and sometimes I'll just put a wand on my leg while I'm writing. Be careful, they're fragile. Or I'll put a piece of selenite on the paper while I'm writing. You can like hold a tower. If you have a selenite tower, you can hold it. Okay, if that make it, it will also make you feel more grounded. Now, some of these are more powerful than others. Also, clear quartz. Tiger's Eye can protect you from letting the negative in while you manifest. Solar jasper or sunstone, if you are manifesting something that would come from the sacral chakra area or a fire passionate situation, those can help you as well, especially if you have trouble getting to the emotion of the situation. Like if you have trouble feeling and getting into that, those stones can help you with that. Clear quartz is probably the easiest and best because it is a very strong amplifier. Now, do you have to hold them? No. You can breathe on them, talk to them before you use them, and then put it on your paper as you write. If you are right-handed, you would put it in your left hand as you write. Opposite, opposite. Pretty straightforward. Somebody like me, ambidextrous, I get to pick. um, I also sometimes will put out a crystal grid in front of me, a little one, like a little thing, put it out so that I can look at it while I'm manifesting, just because that visual gives me more power. Now, color of pen, color correspondences you can find through Google. I'm not going to go through those right now. But it does need to be a pen. You don't want it to be a pencil. So we've written gratitude. We've maybe written a poem. We've written the date. Now you go through and you write your desire in as much detail as possible. You want it to start with I have the best husband ever because I have blah, blah, blah. He has these qualities, okay? You don't want it to just be a list of a bullet point list. I mean, that'll work, especially after the first time you do it. You could just go back and bullet point when you want to re-script. Some people do it every day, twice a day. Some people just do it once and then put the journal away and let it go. It's up to you. This is a personal experience. But you want it to have the I have to keep it in the now, because you want to be able to look around in your environment and be like recognizing that this can happen in the environment you already have. It's a little bit of a brain trick. I was going to say a brain F, but and it feels weird when you first start because you're like, am I just writing a story about what I have? You're kind of writing a story, but also you want to feel what it would be like if somebody just told you that you have this. If you just went on Tinder or Bumble and that person was there. Swipe what? Yes. Or you just got the call from your boss and they were like, hey, you know that promotion you've been wanting? You just got it just a few minutes ago. Or you just got your pregnancy test. Or you just got into a car with that new car smell. You came home and they called you and they said, yes, you can have the loan. Yes, you can have the car. And so you remember how excited that feels. You start writing. And you just keep writing. Does it have to be a certain length? No. Does it have to be a certain way? No. Just write as much as feels right. And now I stick to one topic at a time. Do you need to stick to one topic at a time? No. You can write pages and pages about your whole life. Your whole life. When you're done, sign your signature, your full name. You are the only you in the history of the universe. Sign it. Some people lock it with a symbol, like they have a personal symbol that they draw. You can create that. It's kind of like a sigil of their own. Some people seal it with, like, they just take a wax candle, doink, like this, or a letter seal. Like I send letters with a wax seal and a stamp. Some people put wax on there and put their thumbprint. It doesn't burn. It's no big deal. Is any of that required? No. Does it sound fun and kind of like a neat adventure and you get to play with fire? Yes, go ahead. um, what do you do if you don't want to use just paper? Well, you can use any pen you want. This is a fancy art pen. Okay, it's got this is like literal. There's a thin line and there's a marker and the end. Here's some examples of journals. Okay, this is just a journal, and this is just open paper because it's really was designed for art. But you know what? Whatever, just a journal. How about this one? Okay, lined, just a journal. Another example, Michael's for like $1, and this is a dot journal. Okay, I don't know if you can see the dots on there, but they make little like dots, and sometimes they have little squares like a grid. Okay, and then like even this was like $3. And this is actually art plain too. Now I have hardcover journals. I have a leather bound journal. I have so many. These are just examples of, I don't use these for scripting. They're just examples of journals because I want you to understand that you can use a pad of paper. Like it doesn't matter. You can get a fancy journal and keep it that way. Here's what I do recommend though. We're going to move past that because this video is getting a little too long. When you're done, you can do something else. You can program anything you want. This is a goddess that I have, Quinian. This is an owl that I just got. He's Labradorite. I have a little tree man. I have little things. You can take the crystal that you were holding, okay? Now, some people will blow at their intentions. So you would take your journal, it'll look like you're blowing the ink dry, so it doesn't have to feel too weird. But you would think, and so it is. I have this, and you blow 3 times. Okay, no big deal. Now, you can also talk to your crystal. Make sure your crystals are cleared before you do this work with them. You don't want old energy, okay? But if you want to program your crystal, I put mine in my left hand if I'm using my right hand so that it's open for giving or for receiving, and blow into it 3 times. And I think about what I do actually is I visualize the thing coming to me and I blow it onto the crystal. Literally. I envision it coming to me like in a circular pattern being sucked in like a hurricane right into my third eye, coming at me, blow it into the crystal. Then I take this, when I'm done with my journal, stick it on there, and I'll just leave that out. Number one, it helps me remember to do the journaling because I have a lot of kids and I forget. But also, I feel like that anchors it and it pulls the energy in. It lets the universe know that I was not messing around. I want this to happen. I can do this. I can program the same way with any totem or thing that speaks to me. So I can do the same thing, right? I would blow into it, think about the thing, and then I will ask if it's a statue, I will ask it to protect and bring in. Do you have to do that? No. You just put it on there. Lots of people do that for their journals. And it looks kind of artsy. Like, let's say that you had a pile on your desk. You could do this at work and people wouldn't even know. You'd have a pile of stuff on your desk, and there's your journal to bring in all the amazingness with your little person on top, and it just looks like a pile of books and a paperweight, right? Doesn't have to be out in the open, doesn't have to be crazy. Anyway, I do recommend that you revisit your scripting. I generally would recommend if it's something you really want to do it in the morning right after you wake up, maybe with coffee, but right after you wake up, and then in the evening right before you go to bed. Like you're not going to get back on your phone after this. You're going to write it down, put it away, roll over, go to sleep. Also, like you don't want to do the sexual acts after you do the writing. You want to write after the sexual acts. So snuggle up and then do the writing, or just skip it that night and think about it, because the sexual acts should be exhausting and you should not want to write after them. Just saying. um, is that required? No. If you are not really one to revisit too often, once a month is great. And why do I say that? Because either new moon or full moon, depending on what kind of thing it is and what you want to do. So either bringing in or releasing your manifestations. You can always check astrology. You can always look on tinkstarot.com. I am going to try to make that Instagram like really active, and I'll try to put stuff up that helps you on days that manifestation will be great. There's quite a few other ways to manifest, but I really just wanted to talk to you about scripting and how and what. All of these crystals I talked about are very inexpensive. At least I think they are. Because you don't need big ones. Okay. Um, yeah, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking with me, and go script your life. Get it done. Have a great time. It's a great time to be alive. It's a beautiful world. Thank you so much. Many blessings.